how would you like a back scenes look into one of our private coaching programs? Well, that's what I thought I would do. So about, I think it was a month ago, we had a event called High Probability Trading Live. And at the event, we had a lot of fun, learned a lot of things, talked to a lot of people. I mean, it was a cool thing. It was something that we did for the first time. I had a lot of fun. And at the event, we introduced something called Credit Spread Mastery, which was a 3-month program where I worked very intensively with a core group of students to teach them how to be a credit spread master, right? It's just one trade. How do you master it? How do you get really consistent and profitable with it? And then we guaranteed that, hey, they'll be profitable. Otherwise, I'm going to keep working with them until it happens. And so we've been doing that. And it's been, I think we've been doing it for a month now, or a month and a week or so. And we've had amazing, amazing results so far. I mean, I think everybody's loving it. We've gotten great results, great comments. We're doing coaching calls every week. Almost everybody shows up. And, the trades that we're putting on, amazing. They've all worked so far. We're doing awesome. In this last call, and part of the call, in all the coaching calls, what I do is I show them and I go through the process of finding and putting on a trade, and then we also manage the trades that we already have. And the class has gotten so advanced already that I don't even need to do that. They're giving me trades. So they're like, hey, I found this one. What do you think? I found this one. What do you think? And we had more than enough trades that we could handle this time. And so I actually had to make the class vote. I'm like, all right, I only put one trade on. We need one more trade. You guys need to pick which one it is. We do this one or this one. And we debated the pros and cons of each. And then we picked one trade and we went with it. And I believe it's gonna work out great. So what I wanted to do is I just finished some videos that I have made for the program. And one of them I thought would be helpful to you as well as a listener to our podcast. So I'm going to include the audio right after we have the music and the intro. We're going to dive right into that video. It's not that long, but it's how to become a credit spread black belt, or a black belt credit spread master is actually what it is called. So let's go ahead and cue the music. And then as soon as the music's over, then it's going to go straight into the recording of that lesson.
At Option Genius, we believe that you deserve freedom, financial freedom, so that you have no more worries and more than enough money. Time freedom, so that you could do what you want, when you want to do it. And choice freedom, to live your life on your terms. But the system and Wall Street are rigged against those little guys. So how do we fight back? Well, my friend, that's what this podcast is all about. My name is Alan Sama, and this is the Option Genius Podcast. How to be a black belt spread master. Black belt. Yeah, like karate, right? Black belt. That's the best belt you can get. So how can you be a spread master with a black belt? Let's talk about that. First thing we got to do, though, is go over the disclaimer. Of course, trading involves risk. It's not suitable for everybody. You could lose money. You probably will lose money. So don't risk too much. You don't want the spouse kicking you out of the house, right? Got it. Okay. So blast from the past, right? Karate Kid. The original with Mr. Miyagi. That one rules. I love Jackie Chan. He did great. But the original Karate Kid, the original Miyagi, it was just kick-ass. And I'm going to have to tell you a little bit of story here. Karate Kid, my parents actually took me to see this in the theaters, and I loved it. Right? My kind of dates can't tell you how old I am, but I loved it. The original one, it was this classic story of this guy. He's a little bit nerdy. He's skinny. He moves to this new town. He doesn't have any friends. He meets a girl, and then he gets picked on by this group of thugs, and they know karate, and they're beating him up over and over and over again. And then finally, there's this guy, this recluse, right? This guy who just takes him under his wing, becomes like a father figure to him because he didn't have a father, and teaches him how to defend himself and teaches him karate, and karate is for defense. That's a very horrible, very horrible accent. But, that's what Mr. Miyagi teaches him. That karate is for defense, and it's about life, and it's about meditation and being calm and peaceful and all these things. He shows him how to do respect, right? How to give respect. And that's what karate is about. But all the thugs, all they're talking about is no mercy, right? karate is to win and beat and pummel and destroy. And so we have the rest of the movie, and eventually, hopefully you've seen the movie. If not, go watch it, but I'm going to spoil it for you here. There's a karate tournament. And, of course, the Karate Kid wins in amazing fashion, right? And then there's Karate Kid Part 2. And so he goes to Japan. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but that one was good too. So if you haven't watched them, the originals, you got to go back and watch them again. And then now on Netflix, they have come out with a new series called Cobra Kai. So I guess they wanted to make more money from the Karate Kid, right? And so they brought back all the actors, and they have a whole new series where it continues the story. I think it's like 30 years in the future. 30 years have gone by since the original Karate Kid movie, and you see all the actors have grown up, and they're all there except for, of course, unfortunately, Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morita, because he has passed away, but all the other actors are there. And that was, I've been watching that, and it was cool. And I love the acting is really bad, to be honest. The acting in the series is pretty bad. The story is like, but I love how they showed the other side of the story. Like in the Karate Kid movie, you see everything from Daniel San's perspective. He's the kid who's just moved here, how hard it is for him. He's got a single mom. His mom is annoying. He's trying to make friends, but he's getting beaten up all the time. You see it from his perspective. In the Cobra Kai series, it starts you off, the main character is the main thug, the one that was torturing Daniel San. And it shows you from his perspective, and he's telling the story of how this kid, Daniel, came to his town and messed up his life. Stole his girlfriend, beat him in the tournament, made his sensei hate him, all this kind of stuff. So I loved how they showed both sides of the coin, the flip, and I mean, it was really well done. That part was really well done. Anyway, why am I telling you all this? Because after I saw the Karate Kid, I, of course, wanted to learn karate. Just like after I saw Top Gun, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. And after I saw Jaws, I didn't go swimming for years. But when I saw Karate Kid, I wanted to learn karate. So I told my parents, I want to learn karate. I'll put me in a class. So they did, bless them, right? And so I joined a karate class, and you see that they have these belts. So you want to, of course, you start off as a white belt, meaning you know nothing. And then you get a different color belt as you grow and you get better and better and better. And eventually you get to a black belt. And then when you get a black belt, it goes even higher from there. You can get degrees of black belts. So I started off as a white belt, know nothing. And they started with basic stuff, right? How do you throw a punch? How do you do a kick? How do you block a punch? How do you block a kick? How do you block this and that? And so you got 4 or 5 or 10, basic moves, and you practice. And that's what we did. That was the whole class. Practicing. Maybe you do a sparring with somebody else a little bit in very, very slow motion, but you're practicing the same moves over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Eventually, I got tired of the same moves, and I'm ready to move up. So I go to my sensei. Sensei is your teacher. I go to my sensei, and sensei, please show me some of the moves for the next belt, because I want to practice at home, and I want to get really good so that I can take the test and I can go to the next belt. And what he told me is that I already know the moves. I was like, what are you talking about, sensei? What I found out was that the moves in karate are generally the same at all the belts. The thing is that there is more complexity at the higher levels. So what he showed me is that in slow motion, he stood in front of me, and in slow motion, he threw a punch, and I blocked it. And I was able to block it because that's what I learned as a white belt. He did a little kick, and I blocked it. But then he did it a little bit faster, and he put me on my butt, right? Because I didn't know how to block it, even though I should have been able to block it. And then he moved to the side a little bit, and he punched me from the side, and I didn't know how to block it. And then he hit me from the back, and I don't know how to block it. And then he hit me with 2 combination really fast, and I didn't know how to block it. Even though I knew the moves, I didn't know the combinations. I didn't have the speed to block him. So then he told me to do the same thing to him, and he used the same moves to block everything I did. It didn't matter how fast I did it or what side I did it. He was using the exact same moves, the basic kick and punch and all that stuff to beat me. It was just the same thing. So that was his lesson for me at the time. He goes, you need to focus and work on perfecting the moves that you already know before you go to the next level. And so he sent me back, right? And do the block, do the kick, faster, better, crisper, more proficient. So in the Karate Kid movie, if you watched it, you remember it. You remember wax on, wax off, wax on, wax on, paint the fence up and down, paint the fence up and down. Those were the moves that Mr. Miyagi was teaching Daniel-san. And he made him do it over and 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 over again until he got so good at these basic moves that he was good enough to go into the tournament and fight and win. It was the same moves. And Mr. Miyagi, he didn't have any belts. Like, he didn't tell Daniel-san, okay, now you're white belt, now you're green belt, now you're brown belt. No, he didn't have any moves. He was just teaching karate, or karate, I guess, if you say it properly. But it wasn't about going from belt to belt. It was just learning. It was about learning how to do the thing, right? So now when we talk about credit spreads, we talk about learning the trade, learning how to do it. It's about learning the thing. So if you're a basic trader and you want to get a really, really good trader, is there extra stuff that you got to learn? No, the moves are the same. The rules are the same. The basics are the same. There's more complexity, definitely, at the higher levels. It gets scarier when you're dealing with larger numbers, when you're not putting 500 into a trade, but you're putting 50,000 into a trade. Yeah, it can scare the heck out of you. That's more complexity. But the work that you got to do is the same. The basics are the same. You keep doing the same thing. Punch, kick, wax on, wax off. That's all the same. It's just more complexity at higher levels. So you got to do the work, right? Now you take a look at Bruce Lee, the master of karate, right? The king. He's known to say that I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 different kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Because if you focus and you excel and you expert at one particular thing, you can beat anybody else that's not proficient. Okay. So even Bruce Lee did the same thing, the same exercises, the same. You got to master the basics. Every time I start losing money, the first thing I do is I stop doing everything complicated and I go back to the basics. Just take out everything. Go back to the basics. This happens in everything I do, whether it's trading or whether it's with my family, whether it's with marketing, whatever I want to do, even like chess. If you're a good chess player, you start doing all the gambits, right? You start doing all the moves. But there might be a time when you start losing over and over and over again, and you're like, I don't know what to do. If you don't know what to do, you go back to the basics, right? Go back to the beginning, and then you build up again slowly. So just like in karate, just like in chess, just like in anything else that you want to learn, you got to do the work. If you want to be a master, if you want to be a credit spread master, and that's what I want you to be in this program, that's the reason for this program, you got to put in the work. And that's why we do it over and over and over and over and over. And yes, it can get methodical. It can get boring, but that's how you become a master. That is how you become a credit spread black belt, by doing the same move 1,000 times, 10,000 times, being able to put on a trade in your sleep, being able to have the rules ingrained in your brain so that you can recite them. And then eventually I want you to be so good that you can teach other people. You can teach your kids. You can teach your family. You can teach your friends, your coworkers. You can teach them how to do this stuff. That's how good I want you to be. A black belt credit spread master. That's the point of this program. That's where I want you to be at the end of the program. And we're going to do it by putting in the work. So if you're with me, hell yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to get you there. That's without any doubt in my mind that I can get you there. You have to put in the work. And you already know what that means, right? So if you're ready, let's do this. Are you ready to get started with passive trading and be a consistent and confident and profitable trader, generating cash flow consistently from the stock market? Well, I have some great news for you. For a limited time, we are offering my new book, Passive Trading, for free. All you got to do is go to passivetrading.com/free book, and we will send you the book in the mail for free, as long as you cover the postage and handling. So if you can cover that, we'll send you the book for free. We've already printed it. We got it for you. We're going to send it out to you. It's free. All you got to do is just go to passivetrading.com/free book and learn the basics of passive trading. Get the behind the scenes, get some examples, learn the strategies, and put this stuff to work in your life right now. Remember, go to passivetrading.com/free book and get yours now while this offer is still available.